So, with the new season of League of Legends, surprisingly, there has been a lot of talk based on like what the new season or the next two seasons are going to be, like the regions, what they're going to be based off of. Because now League is doing it where they have 3 seasons a year based on different places. And unless I'm thinking about it wrong, it's not that confusing. Like, I feel like it's pretty obvious what the other two regions, other two seasons are going to be based off of this year. Because we have the Welcome to Noxus, which the opening cinematic and like welcome to the season immediately shows Mel. So this one is clearly either continuing Arcane or following in Arcane's footsteps, or I guess they could just be trying to add Mel into the League of Legends lore. But we've already had uh, what is it? We've already had the confirmed next shows both all three Noxus, Ionia, and Demacia. And all three of those regions are connected. Like they've been connected for the entire history of Runeterra. So I feel like it wouldn't be too far of a stretch to say that the next two seasons are going to be Ionia and Demacia. I mean that makes sense in my mind because I guess like I said they're all connected, but Sagrant, notice how Mel like arrived to Noxus on a boat. I feel like a boat is the least like efficient way to get from Piltover to Noxus. Cause like you gotta go through this river, around all these mountains or like the land and everything, and then go over here. When you could just take like one of those blimp things and just go straight across. That would probably cut your travel time in half, or even like 2/3. But yeah, back on track. I feel like the next two seasons are definitely going to be Ionia or Demacia. I mean, there's really no other logical like answers to what the other two seasons could be. Again, because they've already continued like the Arcane storyline going to to Noxus, and I don't know. Like, I'm not a huge, of course, I'm a huge lore nerd, but I don't know a bunch about the lore. All I know is Noxus has fought both Ionia and Demacia. They've been fighting each other for probably thousands of years at this point. I don't know if they're fighting or like have any connections at the time of like Arcane and when all that stuff is happening, but they could very easily go from Noxus and make it. I don't think that they're gonna end the Noxus show with like LeBlanc or Vlad being defeated, or even Sion or Mordekaiser being summoned. Well, they might do that, but they might like have them be defeated. But I highly doubt LeBlanc and Vlad are dying or anything bad is happening to them because they basically run everything in Runeterra. But I could definitely see them going to Demacia as like a hey, Noxus is crazy, and then going and just chilling with Demacia. I could also see them going to Ionia because it's definitely the most fascinating of all the lands, except for maybe Freljord and Shreema. But I'm also a huge Ahri lover. I have a figurine of her on my desk as we speak. So I want an Ionia show. I also think the story with like Jin and Hui and uh, like Zed, I think those would be pretty cool stories to explore. I also think going to Demacia, and of course everyone says Garen. Yeah, I mean that'd be pretty cool just because of I guess how they depict him being, especially because he's hiding his sister. But I think I could be wrong. Silas is Demacian, but I think he got imprisoned in Freljord, or maybe he's Freljord and got imprisoned in Demacia. I don't know. I don't know anything about Silas's lore, but it would be pretty cool if they did stuff on Tarragon because also I'm a huge Pantheon lover. He's one of my favorite characters. Uh, and I just like the story of Tarragon. Just this place with a portal to the gods is just sitting there, and I'm surprised Noxus hasn't went after it. I mean, again, I don't know all the lore, so maybe they could have, but these power-hungry beings don't even think to, hey, let's go to this portal that accesses all gods. Uh, Also Yone and Yasuo from Ionia. I don't know how I could forget about them. Yone is just incredible. I think Ari is probably one of my favorite champions to play, but I think Yone is like one of my favorite visual champions. I just love the swords and the katanas. I mean, I have a sword and katana collection of my own. Nowhere as cool as his, but uh, shit, I got off track completely. I fully think the next two seasons are going to be based off of Ionia and Demacia. If they go off track and they do like Bilgewater or Shurima, then I guess they're just like plucking names out of the air. But I mean, I guess that's all I made this video for, was to just say my opinion of what I think. Because I was watching Necrit's video and he said he didn't know, and it's like, I feel like it'd be a pretty good guess to guess the other two places that also have connections with Arcane. Also, Siren again, I could be fully wrong, but for some reason I remember hearing uh, that there used to be another like region right here, and that Noxus basically blew them off the map. Now, that could be right, or I could be imagining stuff. But for some reason, I remember hearing that. Which, if that happened, I mean, that's pretty cool. But I also don't know where Noxus would get the technology to just blow something off the map, like off the face of the earth. And I also feel like because of how like war hungry and bloodthirsty they are, I feel like they would have done it to other places as well. Unless it's like a peace treaty like we have on Earth now, where it's like, yo, don't use nuclear weapons. But yeah, I guess that's all I said. And also, it doesn't make sense. Why not use a blimp? Why use a boat and have to travel all this way and go all the way over here when you could just use a blimp and just fly over everything? It's not like you got any enemies across here. Both Noxus and Piltover love you. Well, I guess not Piltover, but there's not much between Piltover and Noxus besides some like mountain camps and I don't even know what else is around here. I also want to talk about the cinematic for absolutely no reason at all. I just love the cinematic. They, I feel like there's a reason why they showed Trundle in there. I think they were trying to set the time period of like where we are, or maybe it could have just been showing the past. But I feel like Piltover and Zaun and like those places are set because like they really have to connect it well with the League of Legends lore. Because in the cinematic we see young Darius, and I mean maybe it's like this Still Here cinematic and they're showing like past, present, and future, which could be like the past is the uh, Darius fight, the present is the Katarina fight, and the future is the Mel, or the future is Mel and the future. What? Sorry, hang on. The past is Darius, the present is Mel, and the future is Katarina. There we go. Got my brain all messed up. And I mean, I hope they do an Ionian show. Again, I'm completely biased. Most people love Ionia because of Bandle City and all the Yordles. I couldn't care less about the Yordles. I think I hate playing against them in game. They're not that fun to play, except for like Ziggs and Tristana. Never mind, Lulu. Lulu's the best Yordle of all time, except for maybe Veigar, but still. Uh, I don't think there's much they could necessarily do with Demacia, unless they could. I guess they could tap into like the Jarvan storyline and all that stuff. But yeah, this video I guess was just a rant of me talking about League because I love League, even though I don't know the lore of it. Oh, but now that I think about it, now I would love to see a Bilgewater show as well, especially like Pike, Nautilus, Alawi, Neela, who else is in the Graves, TF, Misfortune. Like you got a lot of cool people over there. Gangplank is one of them. Gangplank is just a mountain of a dude, just doesn't want to die. Uh, I'm also a wait. Isn't Nami? I believe Nami is Bilgewater. Well, would she be? I love Nami. I'm a Nami support main. Well, I'm not a support main, but whenever I play support, I'm a Nami main. and now I'm a Pyke main second. So Nami, I just love her. Everyone loves Nami. She's such a good support. If you can play her good. If you can't, which tends to be how I play, then she's not good. But I think I'm mostly an Uri mid, which again, if it's played good, it can be pretty powerful, but I fail to do so basically every game. Yeah, I didn't say much. All the people I've spoken to have wanted a Freljord show. I don't get how they do a Freljord show because they can't really have conflicts. The only conflicts they could have are really gonna be between the three gods. I mean, you can't have somebody like Olaf threatening to beat up Ornn or threatening to beat up Vali. They just step on him. I mean, I guess unless this dude doesn't plan to die, which is written in his entire story. But I feel like a Freljord show is kind of like overrated. Like everybody wants it because of the snow and everything. Which I have to admit, it is very beautiful, but I just don't think it would necessarily make a good show. Well, every zone will make a good show. But I feel like Ionia definitely make one of the best shows. They could also link into like Blessed Isles. Uh, they could definitely go into like Ixtal. Ixtal's story is crazy. They stayed hidden for so long with nobody knowing they're there. Other places I feel like are just pretty normal, just there. But they could also expand because Runeterra isn't just these places. You've also got, I believe, and I could be remembering wrong, but I believe you've got another place called Camavor, which I think is where both Viego went, and I think that's where Smolder was born. Uh, and you have several other places that aren't only these. And also, am I the only one who thinks now the like continent stream on Targadon looks like America? It's got the same like bend, it's got the same like tilt and curve to it. Is this just based off? This looks like Asia. No, I'm. Those are my thoughts. I feel like these are gonna be the next two seasons. I was ranting way too much in this video. I guess if you guys have got like other pretty obvious answers as to what the other two seasons are gonna be, let me know. Pretty pointless video, but I haven't uploaded in a little while, and I've got no like new lore things. So, I mean, then again, maybe you guys like listening to just rants about League. I'm willing to do it every single video.